How to draw, back to basics, episode 1, how to draw eyes. Step 1 in drawing eyes is having a basic understanding of drawing circles. You need to be able to represent a circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. This will be your iris, your pupil, and a lot of other highlights. Step 2 to drawing eyes. You need to be able to draw triangles. 3 straight lines. Easy peasy. With plenty of practice, you'll be able to do it with your eyes closed. Step 3 when it comes to drawing eyes is being able to combine circles and triangles together to create a vague eye shape. Once you've got a grasp of the shapes, you can mold them to your will and have them wrap around in different locations, have the triangles pointed out, anything you like. Then we're going to take the circles and the triangles and we're going to make them into an almond shape by connecting them in the middle. We're going to join a triangle onto that circle there, join a triangle onto that circle there, and we'll chop this bit off. There you go, you've got a basic almond shape with 1, 2, 3, 2 triangles, 1 circle. Easy peasy. Step 4, to be able to draw eyes, it is essential to remember that the eyeball is a sphere, and so it needs to be shaded as such. You'll find lots of references online. I'll put a couple up on the screen right now. You can find them on Google, you can find them on Pinterest. It's all about separating out your highlights, your midtones, your darkers, you've got your reflective light down here and your shadows behind. We'll be placing the eye on top of one of these spheres. Now we may not draw the whole sphere, but the eye will be affected by the shadow of the sphere. Okay, so step 5 is understanding the basics of the eye anatomy. We've got several parts to it. We've got the upper eyelid, the lower eyelid, the sclera, or the whites of the eyes. It's all this section around here. We've got the pupil, the iris. This little tiny wet, fleshy section in this here is called the caruncle. We've got the lateral commissure, or corner meeting point, basically. Now, the highlight that I've got here is just because it's an orb and it's wet, so you're gonna get a sort of reflective quality to it. Step 6 is the most important step so far. When you're learning to draw, using reference is the quickest and fastest method to be able to draw accurately. I'm going to pull up a reference now. I'm going to use the steps that we've learned so far to represent that eye. Start off with my circle. Add in my triangles. I'm going to chop this triangle off at the top here. So we've got an almond shape. Now, on this reference, we've got a highlight over here and the iris comes around like this. The best part about using references is that you can use the light and the shadow inside the eye. And we can use the shapes that we've learnt so far to create these shadow shapes. As you can see, I'm just drawing triangles right now. Drawing triangles, and I'm drawing circles, and I'm using some straight lines to represent the shadows on that eye. I'm breaking down each piece using my own experience, which you will get after following this tutorial and looking up some more. Right, so we've got the basics down. So we've used circles, triangles, triangles over here, a triangle down below, and we're just creating these shapes that make up the darker sections of the shadows around the eye. Right, so step 7. We're going to fill in these shadow shapes using this scale we've got here. This represents several different tones that you can get with a pencil. This is pressing down really lightly and brushing my hand slightly over the paper. This one we press down a little harder, and this one we're pressing down as hard as possible. I've achieved this one through no graphite at all, and this one by using a softer pencil. You can find softer pencils like 2B or 3B, etc., all the way up, will create a darker graphite look. So we're going to use primarily these three in the middle, and we're going to shade in our shadow shapes. So all we're doing now is looking at our reference, taking in where we might find the shadows, and there's a shadow along here, and we're trying to match as close as possible. Now don't worry about making it more realistic, we're just trying to represent the reference that we've got in front of us. For the eyebrows and the eyelashes, we're going to want a very sharp pencil. And you're just brushing over the eyebrows where you think the hairs may lie. Now with eyelashes, beginners tend to draw eyelashes in single strokes representing the eye like that. When drawing eyelashes, it is best to clump them together. That is mostly what they do in real life, especially if they've got makeup on. Now I hope you can see from what I've drawn here, by following these 7 steps, you'll be able to draw eyes that accurately represent what you're saying in your references. And you'll be able to study this over and over and over again. And that's step 8. Step 8 is practice, practice, practice. Pull up 100 eye references and draw them over and over and over again. Eventually, you'll get to the point where you're able to simplify your lines and draw eyes in any style that represent the figure that you're wanting to leave an impression of. Now, I'm not advocating for realism. Realism is just the best way to learn. And then you can break it down and you can draw all sorts of eyes based on the methods that we've learned here today. In summary, draw circles, draw triangles, join the circles and the triangles together to make an almond shape. Break down your basis of shading, create shadow shapes based on a reference, and then blend those shadow shapes together using this basic model. You only need to be able to do 3 shades. Your 4th one comes naturally, your 5th one you can use a different pencil for. That's it. I hope you've liked this tutorial. I'll be posting more in the future. Thanks, and see you later.